Hey, hello everyone. Today, I want to talk to you about time, about life, and about that quiet feeling many of us carry but rarely say out loud. That feeling where days pass, weeks pass, and suddenly you realize you've been busy, but not fulfilled, moving, but not really going anywhere. If you clicked on this video, chances are you're thinking about your future. Maybe about the coming year. Maybe about what you should change, what you should fix, or why things don't feel the way you hoped they would by now. And if that's true, you're not alone. You're human. I'm not here to shout motivation at you. I'm not here to tell you that everything will magically work out. I just want to sit with you for a few minutes and talk honestly, like one person talking to another, about how life quietly slips into autopilot and how we can gently take control again. Let me ask you something simple. When you look back at the last few months, what do you actually remember? Not what you posted online, not what your calendar says. I mean, real memories, clear moments, conversations, progress, growth. For many people, that question feels uncomfortable. Not because they failed, but because everything feels blurry. Days blend into each other. You wake up, do what you have to do, get tired, sleep, and repeat. And somewhere along the way, life starts feeling fast but empty at the same time. I felt this deeply not long ago. My days were packed. My phone was always buzzing. My to-do list never ended. From the outside, it looked like I was doing fine. But inside, I felt strangely disconnected from my own life. I was present physically, but mentally, I was always somewhere else. That's when I realized something important. Being busy is not the same as moving forward, and being tired doesn't always mean you worked on something meaningful. Most of us are not lazy. We're overwhelmed. Our minds are constantly pulled in different directions. Notifications, messages, worries, expectations, comparisons. Even when we sit down to rest, our brain doesn't rest. It scrolls, it thinks, it replays, it plans. And slowly, without noticing, we start living in reaction mode. Reaction mode means your life is controlled by whatever shows up next. A message decides your mood. A problem decides your focus. A notification decides your attention. You don't choose your day. It chooses you. Living like this doesn't cause a big crash. It causes a slow fade. You're awake, but not fully alive. You're moving, but without intention. If you've ever reached the end of the day and thought, what did I actually do today? Then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Here's the truth that changed everything for me. The problem isn't time, it's energy. When your energy is drained, even simple things feel hard. Reading feels heavy. Learning feels impossible. Starting feels painful. And then you judge yourself for not being disciplined enough, when in reality, your energy has been leaking all day long. Energy leaks are sneaky. They don't announce themselves. They hide in habits that seem normal. Late nights on your phone. Endless thinking about things you can't control. Saying yes when you want to say no. Trying to do everything perfectly. For me, one of the biggest leaks was overthinking. I could lie in bed for hours, replaying conversations, imagining future problems, analyzing past mistakes. My body was resting, but my mind was running a marathon. For others, it's scrolling. Not because it's fun, but because it's easy. You don't even enjoy it anymore, but you keep doing it because your brain is tired and wants comfort. The goal is not to fix your entire life overnight. That only creates pressure. The goal is to notice one small leak and gently close it. Just one. Maybe tonight you sleep 30 minutes earlier. Maybe you turn off notifications for 1 hour. Maybe you stop replaying one conversation and let it go. That small change creates space, and space gives your mind room to breathe. When your energy slowly comes back, something interesting happens. You stop needing motivation all the time. You start feeling momentum. Momentum is powerful. It's that feeling where doing one small thing makes the next thing easier. Like pushing a heavy door. The first push is hard, but once it moves, it keeps moving. This is why chasing perfect routines usually fails. Perfect routines break the moment life gets messy. And life always gets messy. What actually works is having a minimum honest day. A minimum honest day is the smallest version of success you can do, even when everything feels wrong. Not impressive, not dramatic, just honest. 10 minutes of English practice, 5 minutes of reading, a short walk, one early bedtime decision. That's it. Your brain doesn't need big promises. It needs proof. Proof that you keep showing up, even in small ways. And yes, you will miss days. Everyone does. Missing a day is normal. Disappearing for weeks is optional. The real skill isn't never failing. The real skill is restarting quickly. Many people miss one day and think, I ruined everything. Then they quit. But strong people don't think like that. Strong people pause, reset, and continue. Sometimes on the same day. Even 5 minutes matters. That small action sends a powerful message to your brain. I didn't quit. This is how confidence is built. Not by big speeches, but by small promises kept again and again. As your confidence grows, something else grows with it. Quiet courage. Not loud courage. Not dramatic bravery. Just small brave moments. One honest sentence. One attempt. One step forward. Courage doesn't come before action. It comes from action. And when you protect your energy, simplify your days, and choose small courage regularly, life slowly stops drifting. Your days feel clearer. Your mind feels calmer. You're not perfect, but you're present. That's how real change begins. Not suddenly, not loudly, but steadily. And once you start living with that kind of presence, something subtle but powerful begins to change inside you. You stop rushing so much. Not because life slows down, but because your mind stops fighting every moment. You're still moving, still working, still learning, but now there's a sense of direction. Like you're holding the steering wheel instead of being dragged behind the car. One thing I learned the hard way is that clarity doesn't come from thinking more. It comes from doing less, but doing it with intention. Most people believe that if they just think long enough, plan hard enough, or analyze deeply enough, everything will become clear. But overthinking rarely creates clarity. It creates noise. Clarity is quiet. It shows up when you reduce the chaos around you. When you stop consuming everything and start choosing carefully. When you give your brain fewer inputs so it can finally process what actually matters. This is especially important if you're trying to learn something new, like a language, a skill, or even a new way of thinking. Learning doesn't fail because people aren't smart enough. It fails because the mind is overloaded. Imagine trying to pour clean water into a cup that's already full of muddy water. No matter how good the water is, it won't stay clean. First, you have to empty the cup. For many people, the cup is full of unnecessary pressure. Pressure to be fast, pressure to be perfect, pressure to catch up with others, pressure to not fall behind. But learning doesn't work under pressure. It works under safety. Your brain learns best when it feels calm, not threatened, curious, not judged. This is why being kind to yourself is not weakness. It's strategy. If you tell yourself every day that you're slow, bad, or behind, your brain listens. It tightens. It resists. But if you say, I'm learning at my pace and that's okay, your brain opens. It becomes flexible again. Progress starts to feel lighter. Another quiet truth is this: consistency beats intensity every single time. Doing a little every day may not feel impressive, but it changes you. Slowly. Permanently. Intense effort followed by long breaks feels exciting at first, but it doesn't stick. The brain forgets. The habit breaks. The cycle restarts. Consistency, on the other hand, rewires identity. You don't just do the thing. You become the kind of person who does the thing. And identity is powerful. When you see yourself as someone who practices, someone who learns, someone who shows up, your behavior naturally follows. You don't need motivation every day because it's no longer a decision. It's just who you are. This is why small rituals matter so much. A cup of tea before studying, sitting in the same chair, opening the same notebook. These tiny signals tell your brain, it's time. Over time, focus becomes easier, not because you're forcing it, but because your brain recognizes the pattern. But let's be honest. Even with good intentions, there will be days when you don't feel like doing anything. Days when your mind feels heavy, your body feels slow, and everything feels pointless. On those days, don't ask yourself to be productive. Ask yourself to be gentle. Gentleness is not giving up. It's adjusting. Maybe instead of studying for 30 minutes, you read one paragraph. Maybe instead of practicing speaking, you just listen. Maybe instead of pushing forward, you rest on purpose, without guilt. Rest without guilt is powerful. It restores you instead of draining you. Many people rest while feeling guilty, and that guilt steals the benefit of rest. Their body stops, but their mind keeps punishing them. True rest happens when you allow yourself to pause without self-attack. And when you come back, even slowly, you'll notice something surprising. You're not starting from zero. You're continuing. Another important shift happens when you stop waiting for confidence. Confidence doesn't arrive before action. It grows after repeated action. Waiting to feel ready keeps people stuck for years. Readiness is a myth. Every person who is good at something once felt awkward, unsure, and uncomfortable. They didn't move forward because they felt confident. They felt confident because they moved forward. Even speaking imperfectly, learning slowly, or making mistakes is progress. Silence is not safer than mistakes. Silence just keeps you invisible to your own growth. There's a quiet pride that comes from trying, even when it's uncomfortable. It's not loud. It doesn't need applause. But it builds self-respect. And self-respect is deeper than motivation. Self-respect says, I keep my promises to myself, even small ones. That changes how you walk, how you speak, how you show up. Another thing that helps deeply is simplifying your goals. Big goals inspire, but small goals guide. Saying, I want to be fluent is nice, but it doesn't tell you what to do today. Saying, I'll learn 5 new words today gives your brain a clear task. Clear tasks reduce anxiety. Your brain likes knowing what success looks like. When success is vague, the brain feels lost. When success is clear and achievable, the brain relaxes and works. And when you complete small goals regularly, you create evidence. Evidence that you're capable. Evidence that you're moving forward. Evidence that you can trust yourself. Trusting yourself is one of the most underrated skills in life. Many people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they don't trust themselves to continue when things get hard. They quit early, not because it's impossible, but because doubt gets louder than patience. Patience is quiet. doubt is loud. Choosing patience again and again slowly weakens doubt. Not by arguing with it, but by outworking it. And here's something else worth saying honestly. Your path doesn't need to look like anyone else's. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to lose joy and momentum. You see someone ahead of you and forget how far you've already come. But life is not a race with one finish line. It's a personal journey with many seasons. Some seasons are fast, some are slow, some are about building, some are about healing. All of them matter. When you accept your current season instead of fighting it, you stop wasting energy. That energy can then be used to move forward, even if the steps are small. And those small steps, taken consistently, quietly reshape your future. One day, without realizing it, you'll look back and notice something has changed. Not everything, but enough. You'll feel more grounded, more capable, more connected to your own life. And that's when you understand something important. The goal was never to transform overnight. The goal was to stop drifting and start choosing. One small choice at a time. And when you start choosing, even in small ways, you begin to feel a quiet sense of ownership over your life. Not control in a strict or stressful way, but ownership in a calm, grounded way. Like saying to yourself, "This is my life, and I'm allowed to shape it." If your phone is always within reach, you'll use it. If junk food is always visible, you'll eat it. If distractions are everywhere, focus becomes rare. This isn't a personal failure, it's human nature. Instead of blaming yourself, redesign your environment. Place helpful things closer. Make unhelpful things slightly harder to access. Even small changes make a big difference over time. A notebook on your desk, an English app on your home screen, notifications turned off during certain hours. These are quiet supports. They work in the background, even on days when motivation is low. And that's the point. You don't want a system that only works when you feel inspired. You want a system that supports you when you feel tired, confused, or unmotivated. Life doesn't happen on perfect days. It happens on normal ones. Another thing that often holds people back is the fear of wasting time. Ironically, that fear causes more wasted time. People overthink decisions, delay starting, wait for the right moment, and end up doing nothing. Here's a gentle truth. Starting imperfectly is better than waiting perfectly. You don't need to know the whole path. You only need to see the next step. Take it, then adjust. Life is not a straight line. It's a series of small corrections. Progress looks messy up close. It only looks smooth in hindsight. You might start something and realize it's not right for you. That's not failure. That's information. You learned something about yourself. That knowledge is valuable. Every attempt teaches you something. Every pause teaches you something. Even setbacks teach you something. If you stay curious instead of critical. Curiosity keeps you moving. Criticism freezes you. So when things don't go as planned, try asking better questions. Not, "What's wrong with me?" but "What can I learn from this?" Not, "Why am I so slow?" but "What support do I need right now?" Support is not weakness, it's wisdom. And sometimes, the support you need is simply patience. Allowing yourself to grow at a natural pace instead of rushing toward an imagined finish line. There's no deadline on becoming better. Your life is not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where your experiences have brought you. From here you can move forward, gently and steadily. One day, you'll notice that you're less harsh with yourself. Another day, you'll realize you didn't give up when things got hard. Another day, you'll see progress that once felt impossible. These moments don't arrive with fireworks. They arrive quietly, but they stay. And over time, Those quiet changes add up. You trust yourself more. You understand yourself better. You make choices that feel right instead of rushed. That's what real growth looks like. Not dramatic transformation, but steady alignment. So if you're listening to this and feeling a mix of hope and uncertainty, that's a good sign. It means you care, and caring is the beginning of change. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to take one small step with intention, then another, then another. Your future is not built in one decision. It's built in the daily choices you repeat. And you are allowed to choose again, anytime. Right now included.